And the last rites of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh will be held at around 11:45 a.m. local time. He will be given a full state honour at Nigambodh Ghat crematorium in Delhi. And these are the live visuals of the mortal remains of India's former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. It is now being moved from his residence, and it is now moving towards the All India Congress Committee headquarters, where the mortal remains of Dr. Manmohan Singh will be kept until for people to pay their last respects. And well, for more on this, we are now being joined by our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur, who is joining us live from the Congress headquarters in New Delhi. Hi Dharamjot, the last rites, the mortal remains of Dr. Manmohan Singh has arrived at the Congress headquarters. What more can you tell us? What are you gathering at this point of time?
Well, Resha, as you can see right behind me, there is a beeline of senior Congress leaders who are waiting to pay their due to late former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. As you can see, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Party President Mallikarjun Kharge, and a lot of other senior Congress leaders are waiting for Dr. Singh to arrive. The military cavalcade just left from Dr. Singh's residence. They're supposed to be here any moment. As you can see, there's a lot of buzz. A lot of senior leaders have already lined up. There's heavy presence also of the civil society public who also wanted to pay their last rites and the respect before the last rites. Now, any moment now, Raisha, we're seeing a lot of crowd gather, a lot of security arrangements to ensure that the entire process goes smoothly. Now, as you rightly mentioned, the remains were brought here for people to be respect before the last rites are held at the Nigambodh Ghat at roughly around 11:45 a.m. It remains to be seen how or whether or not they will be able to make it there on time. We're running behind schedule by 3:35 ready. But as you can see, the entire senior leadership, all the Congress chief ministers, former cabinet ministers who've worked in the Manmohan Singh government, all of them are here. So clearly a lot of action. The mortal remains of Dr. Singh will be here.
Right, Dharamjot. And these are the live visuals of the mortal remains of India's former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, which has just been brought to the All India Congress Committee headquarters in New Delhi. We can see Congress leaders and party leaders lined up there to pay their last respect to an economist, a politician, a man who has been revered not just in India but also all across the world. The mortal remains of Dr. Singh will be kept at the AICC headquarters for an hour or two, and it looks like that we are running against time and behind schedule because at 9:30 a.m. the procession had to start from the AICC headquarters till the Nigambodh Ghat, where the final rites will take place. And we have our correspondent Dharamjot back with us on the phone line. Yes, Dharamjot, you were telling us about how the party leaders from all across the country are there to pay their last respects to Dr. Manmohan Singh's and his mortal remains. It has just now arrived at AICC. Tell us more.
Well, Daisha, the mortal remains are just being brought in from the main entrance of the party headquarters. As you can see in the visuals right in front of you, a lot of senior Congress leaders are gathered over here to pay their tribute and to pay their respect to Dr. Singh before his last rites are conducted in a couple of hours from now. As you continue with full military honors and state honors, Dr. Singh's remains are being brought into the Congress party headquarters. It is here that party workers and the public will also be allowed to pay their last respects. Now, on your screen right now, Raisha, you could see Dr. Singh's wife and family members who have just arrived at the party office. Dr. Singh is survived by his wife and 3 daughters. A lot of his relatives who flew in from different parts of India and from the world. 2 of his daughters, as we know, were in the United States, who flew in for their father's last rites. Now, the family has just arrived, so any moment now, Raisha, the mortal remains of Dr. Singh will also be brought in with full military and state honors. Like I mentioned, once the party workers and the Congress leaders are able to pay their respect and bid farewell to Dr. Singh, the remains will be carried from here to Nigambodh Ghat, where his last rites will be held at 11:45 a.m. today.
Right.
So this is where things stand right now, Raisha. A lot of buzz. Everybody here is waiting for Dr. Singh's mortal remains to be brought in so that everybody can finally bid goodbye to India's former Prime Minister.
Right, Dharamjot. Unfortunately, from the halls of AIIMS, where he breathed his last, to the AICC headquarters, the mortal remains of India's former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, has just arrived at the All India Congress Committee, where, as we can see, a lot of people have gathered to pay their respects. Singh's departure has perhaps brought together leaders from all across the party lines, and these are the live visuals from outside the All India Congress Committee, where Dr. Manmohan Singh's mortal remains will be kept, after which the final last rites will be taken to the Nigambodh Ghat. Dharamjot, can you also tell us about any protocols that are put in place at this point of time? Because as we can see from the live visuals coming from outside the AICC here in the India's national capital, it seems like there is high security deployed there.
You're right, Raisha. There is high security that has been deployed to ensure that everybody gets an opportunity to pay their respect in proper form. Now, separate media enclosures have been made. There's also a different enclosure that has been created for the general public to be able to pay the respect to Dr. Singh from a distance as his mortal remains arrive at the AICC office here. As you can see right in front of me, this is where the entire area has been cordoned off for Congress party leaders, senior leaders, to be able to welcome the family of Manmohan Singh, as we saw just a few moments ago. They're also waiting here at the entrance of the party headquarters to honor Dr. Singh as his mortal remains arrive here. As I mentioned, his remains are being brought with full military and state honors. The family, his wife and his daughters, just arrived a few moments ago. Any second now, Raisha, if I could just ask my colleague to pan the camera a little and show you that military has begun to arrive. So his mortal remains are being brought inside the office premises right now as we speak, Raisha, on your screens right now. As I mentioned, it's as per protocol, since Dr. Singh was former Prime Minister, so that is the protocol as far as full state honors are concerned, Raisha. You will see that proper military honors are accoladed to a person of Dr. Singh's stature.
Right.
And if you can see, Raisha, on your screen right now, Dr. Singh's mortal remains are being brought by the military. And we did enter the premises of the party headquarters on your screens right now, and all senior leaders from the Congress party from across the country are here at the party headquarters to pay their respect and bid goodbye to Dr. Singh. Raisha.
Right, Dharamjot. The Ministry of Defence has also been requested, like you mentioned, to make arrangements for state funeral with full military honours for Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was the Prime Minister of India for 2 consecutive terms. He was also the RBI Governor and the FM. He adorned many offices throughout his career. And these are the live visuals from the All India Congress Committee headquarters here in India's national capital, New Delhi, where the mortal remains of Dr. Manmohan Singh has just arrived at the Congress headquarters. And we can see Congress leaders Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Rahul Gandhi standing there paying their last tributes to Dr. Manmohan Singh. We can also see Ashok Gehlot, Mallikarjun Kharge lined up there to pay their last and the final tributes to India's former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Dharamjot also talked to us about how Nigambodh Ghat is where the last rites will be taking place at 11:45 a.m. IST, but it does look like that they are running behind the schedule, because at 9:30 a.m. IST is when the procession had to start from AICC, but it's 9:14 a.m. at this point of time, and the mortal remains have just arrived at the All India Congress Committee.
Well, you're right, Vaishya. The entire program as per plan is running a little behind schedule. It did take some time to ensure that all the proper protocol was followed and all security arrangements were in place, since we had leaders flying in from all over the country. But the remains are expected to be here for about roughly an hour, Vaishya, to allow party workers, to allow the public to be able to bid farewell to Dr. Singh before his mortal remains with full military and state honors are carried to Nigambodh Ghat, which is one of the largest cremation grounds here in Delhi. Roughly about 25 to 30 minutes, that's the time it will take from the party headquarters to Nigambodh Ghat. About 25 to 30 minutes for the mortal remains to be carried. But again, it remains to be seen, given how the public presence, given the presence of so many party leaders, the protocol, the safety protocol that has to be followed. It remains to be seen how long it will take, whether or not they'll be able to follow as per the schedule that has been created. Unfortunately, there's already a lot of controversy surrounding this entire, the last rites of Dr. Singh. Also have to mention how, weather has been playing a spoil sport, Vaishya. So there are two ways one can look at this. Whether yesterday, as we saw, when Dr. Singh's remains were brought to his residence, and a lot of leaders from across party lines, including the Prime Minister, including the President, everybody paid their tribute yesterday. But it was pouring, Raisha, yesterday. The rain lashed the entire capital since wee hours in the morning. I was there at 7 a.m. It was pouring. But as, the day kept going on, the weather kept getting worse. So it remains to be seen, and we do have forecasts that says that a similar situation is expected today. Rain is also expected later in the day, so it remains to be seen if any of that is weather plays spoil sport to the entire plan of the funeral rites and the last rites of Dr. Singh today, Raisha. A lot of public, a lot of members from civil society are also arriving to catch a glimpse of Dr. Singh, bid farewell and pay their tribute before his last rites are held at Nigambodh Ghat. So as of now, that is the status. His mortal remains have been they've been taken to a room where people can go and gradually follow proper protocol and then pay their respects before the public is allowed a final viewing. So at this point, this is where the status stands, Reza.
Right, Dharamjot, and these are the live visuals from the All India Congress Committee, and there we can see Mallikarjun Kharge and the party leaders paying their last tributes to India's former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Dr. Singh's mortal remains will be kept at the ICC at the Congress headquarters for some time, after which the final procession of his last rites will start from the Congress headquarters till the Nigambodh Ghat, where the last rites is scheduled to take place at 11:45 a.m. IST. Dharamjot, if you're still with us on the phone line, I just want to talk about how during Dr. Singh's prime ministership, during his last press conference, he said, and I want to quote here, that I don't believe that I have been a weak prime minister. I believe that history will be kinder to me than contemporary media. And it does look like that leaders from all across the spectrum, they are paying their final tributes to Dr. Singh, who is known as an architect of India's economic growth.
You're absolutely right, Raisa. I think media is definitely being kinder to him. And Dr. Singh's prophecy came true much sooner than anybody else probably expected. We did see, ever since the world heard about Dr. Singh's demise, we saw an outpouring of tribute and condolences. And the common thing that we've been talking about over the past day and a half, Raisha, is how everybody has highlighted not just his leadership roles, not just his entire political career, but how he was as a person. The fact that his calm and composed nature, his entire demeanor, not through his time as a finance minister during the 1991 economic crisis of India, where he played an instrumental role in liberalizing and reforming India's economic policies and brought India out of the fiscal crisis that it was in. From there, to becoming India's Prime Minister in 2004. And his entire tenureship, which has seen a lot of criticism, which has also seen equal amount of praise. Dr. Singh's tenure for 10 years under the UPA and leading the UPA government back then, we've seen so many social reforms. We've seen a lot of acts, a lot of schemes, social welfare schemes, particularly for the middle class, for the rural class, that were implemented back then, which to date benefit millions of people in the country. Of course, as goes for any tenure of a political leader of a government, it is not without criticism.
Right.
But having said that, Raisha, all the tributes that have poured in about Dr. Singh, not just from India, but also from across the world, from global leaders, the fact that his role as India's most illustrious economist, somebody who truly brought the country out of a very, very difficult time in the 90s, that is something that everybody speaks about in revered tones.
Right, Dharamjot.
When speaking about Dr. Singh.
Right, Dharamjot. Thank you for joining us on the show. And the mortal remains of India's former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, is kept at the Congress Party headquarters, after which the final rites and the procession will begin to the Nigambodh Ghat, where the last rites will be taking place at 11:45 a.m. IST.